Right, now if you want to start, it works now.
So you want to know something about myself. I'm Katherine Krone. I'm born in Schwerin an der Warthe, of course Germany, on the 2nd of August 1901. I had to come to England, as we all know, Hitler started. And as I was a trained nurse, I had it quite easily to get a job through the General Nursing Council.
What about
Yeah.
your past before you came to this country?
Yeah. I don't like to speak about my childhood because it was not very pleasant. My parents divorced after 25 years. We have been but quite a big family, but Hitler took them all. And it is too painful to talk about the experience. So I had to come to England. As I was a very well-trained nurse, I had a good chance to come over through the General Council of Nurses.
When did you come?
And came 1939 in July, just in time to make the blackout in the hospital, because I had to do this. It was a wonderful hospital in Penarth, near Cardiff, but after 1 year, I have been interned in May 1940. I spent a year in Isle of Man, and
did you nurse there?
No, I refused to nurse because I was offended as that interned me. I helped to run our house. The owner of the boarding house trusted me with the whole run of the house, so we didn't need to take German internees in. She believed me, and she was very nice. She left everything to me. I've asked her to roll all the good carpets off, because we have been young people. We had young people with us, and I didn't want that anything is spoiled. We provided. I asked the boarding house owner to give us the food we cook ourselves, and I organized a very nice, pleasant, communal, communal life with 40 people.
On the Isle of Man?
On the Isle of Man.
Was that, you were not in a
St.
camp?
Mary. Oh yes, St.
So
Mary.
But how come you could go to a boarding house?
Now we always have been placed into boarding house or hotels, and I came, and on the way I became friendly with somebody who was a teacher in language, and she taught me we both. She taught me really to learn English, and she gave English lessons in our community, and we both ran the house. She helped me with the language, and I did everything else, because the boarding house owner trusted me because I was a nurse. But I didn't want to help in a clinic. We had a clinic there. But I didn't want to help in a clinic. I was offended that King George sent me on holiday. That was always the phrase I say to the people. And so it was quite a happy life. I'm still friendly with this friend who was later in the married camp, got a boy, and this boy is now on the university in Sydney, and we are great friends, and every 2 years, if he has sabbatical holiday leave, he comes to see me with his children, and we are still friendly.
Comes under the heading of something good comes out of everything bad.
Really. And I just wrote a letter to her. And she came over and we went together to Spain and so on. It was a very nice friendship later. And now so when I came from Isle of Man, I went to, what was the first stop? I went to a hostel for nurses, and from there I went to Watford to a nursing home. And but other people haven't been very kind to Jewish people, and a doctor's wife from Amersham came with an eye operation there. And he said, you have to come to Amersham, there is a bigger hospital, the general hospital, and we need nurses. So I went there. And there then I met the superintendent from Cardiff, and he put me in the right position. Before I was only staff nurse. I couldn't go as a sister in the beginning.
That was, you didn't have to pass, did you have to pass a nurse's
No,
exam in
no,
this country?
Nothing, no. Because this superintendent knew my qualities. And he spoke to the committee here. And he said, you will see, I was fully trained, X-ray, everything, theater, and did everything. But I worked in Amersham Hospital for 23 years. And then they gave me the accommodation, and I'm here now, retired 22 years.
But you are a very actively retired lady. What have you done during the last 22 years?
Now,
in your so-called
20
retirement?
years, I have what I call lame ducks, quite a number.
Mm-hmm.
I took them out in my car and took them where I could.
Where do you pick them up?
Pick them up, and went to them, talked to them. And unfortunately, one of my sisters who survived the Holocaust lived in Wiesbaden in Germany, and she got cancer. And I went over, she was 2 years ill, and I went over and nursed her, and came back again
That was
every 4
when?
weeks. That was 74 when she died. Then I went on holiday. I went to America twice. I went to the Great Canyon, and I traveled a lot during my after my retirement. Before I didn't have time because I worked more than I didn't retire with 60. I retired with 64.
And what was your status then in the hospital?
Sister.
I
I took over the geriatric ward because that was a ward nobody liked to do it earlier in this time of the year. No English sister liked to take on the geriatric.
Did you have any training? No, you were
No.
too young in Germany.
I was in Germany. I was 17 years already.
A nurse.
I was assistant matron in Germany.
In where? In Mannheim?
In Mannheim. Yeah.
At the Jewish hospital?
It's a Jewish hospital. I was trained in Germany, in Mannheim, in a very big hospital where the insulin started. That was 1923
Where was that?
in Mannheim.
In Mannheim as well?
In Mannheim. And this hospital, Dr. Kissing was his name. They started this insulin the first time. And I had a very good training there. We did everything. And then I went to our Jew. I was B'nai B'rith sister
Where?
in Germany.
In Germany.
From the B'nai B'rith Lodge. I had my training in Mannheim. But my parents, we lived in Berlin. And through this, in our little hospital, the Jewish hospital, you can have a picture of it there.
Yes, please.
And we started Röntgen. We had everything there. It was a very, very nice and new hospital. And we had more Christian patients than other patients. It was an Orthodox hospital. And there I have been assistant matron. So when I came to England, I was so fully trained that they couldn't the acknowledge my training, so to speak. Ne? And so I worked here in the hospital first on the acute ward, and later, when the Minister of Health took over the hospital, then I started the geriatric. That was the first geriatric really here, because before it was a workhouse. And I have been fighting against this name workhouse. And I wrote in our, I can give you article from this as
Have
well.
you got
if
that?
want.
Yes,
Yeah, I
please.
think so. And worked very hard. And I was really, the matron left it all to me. I'm still friendly with the matron, because my ward was run with 50 patients, 1 bath and 1 toilet. And I insisted on building on a toilet, doing all the railings. And so I was very much appreciated in Amersham, I must say. And I'm still very friendly with all of them. And here now, I moved to this sheltered accommodation.
But you're the only Jewish...
And I'm only the Jewish person, but we have every fortnight, I don't know if it's interesting.
Yes, everything is interesting.
Yeah. Every fortnight we have, every week we have a service, a Christian service. And here is with us lives one reverend. And he gave once a service, and I said to him, and I go sometimes to the service. One service, a young man, very nice service, and I thanked him for the nice service, in spite of being Jewish, but enjoyed his service. He said, oh, my grandparents speak German. I think they came from Germany, and my mother came from Germany when she was 12 years old. And he's a lovely man, lovely baby. He has a baby. And it's very pleasant. But the next reverend said in his service, oh, we have Katie with us. I'm Katie. And we all want to say shalom. You know, she is Jewish, and we say all shalom. All right, shalom. Then again to a service, very Christian.
What do you mean, very evangelical or what?
Yes, angelical, very. And he said too, we have Katherine Krone with us today, so I think we shake all hands and say shalom. So I said to the reverend, listen, I don't want to be singled out. I know I live here, and I know I have to, I'm grateful to be here, but I don't want to be singled out. I don't think it's right towards the others either. And that is appreciated. The warden said yes, she wanted to say it, but then I play Halma with this reverend. I started here a game evening. Everyone plays what they want, darts. I play Halma with the reverend, you know Halma.
Who wins?
Germany.
I do. Who wins? You win.
And they play cards, so it's a very nice thing. I try to make a nice atmosphere here, and I think I succeeded. Because the warden, we are one, really. And she's very nice, very caring, and the whole community is so, we are like a family through this. I go tomorrow, I have to inspire them. I go tomorrow on a coach tour. I belong to the Amersham Society. They have a coach tour. I inspire the people to go with me tomorrow.
So where do you go?
No, that is all worked out by them, to see the Wellington House in Stratfield. Stratfield. Now that is my life now.
Now, may I just ask, you were saying you used to work in an Orthodox Jewish hospital in Mannheim. Is your own background Orthodox Jewish?
No, it was fairly liberal, my father. Yes.
Did your family attend synagogue
yes,
in Berlin?
Fasanstraße.
Right.
Yes, we have been religious.
Right.
I have been religious. And my in the Mannheim hospital was very Orthodox, really Orthodox. Dr. Grünwald, perhaps you heard of
Yes,
him.
of course.
I nursed his boy. We have been so close together. That's all so long ago, ne? He is 80 now too, I heard. But when I came to England, I had to forget this all. Here in Amersham, perhaps one doesn't know even, we had, during the war, after my internment camp, we had here a little hut. We built a hut, the Jewish people pulled together. We had a hut and we had every week service.
Who took the service?
The Amersham people.
Themselves?
We didn't have
You didn't
a
have a
rabbiner, no. There have been quite a number German people and English people in Amersham because of the Blitz.
That was roughly when? 1941?
Yes, I came to Amersham 1941. December 1941 I came to Amersham. And then 42 I think we started the same.
Where was that?
In Amersham is now the British the British Red Cross.
In that building?
In this building. No, it was only a hut. The building was pulled down. And now it's a building, very nice building. And so we had a service here. But there was not much communication between them. Only Saturdays, there was not many men also. They had to have all this.
What about high holidays?
High holidays was always, yes. But it was not. There haven't been German, there have been mostly English, London English Jewish. And they didn't know to invite one for Seder also. So I didn't have any.
So you had no...
No.
Because you had no family here?
No family. Ne? I got friendly. I have a big Christian friendship with the nurses and my Red Cross nurses with who voluntarily worked for me on the ward. I had mostly voluntary helper and Red Cross helper because the geriatrics we haven't been training school in the beginning in Amersham. Amersham was an emergency hospital and was connected with St. Mary's Hospital. But in the geriatric, the nurses haven't been allowed to go to do geriatric because the beds have been too close. We had 50 patients in one little, what was in earlier days a workhouse.
So when was that, time-wise?
Time-wise, 41.
1941. And that's when you already started the geriatric ward?
No, then I was on acute ward.
Ah.
But I wasn't allowed to go to the soldiers first. But later...
What, because you were German
I was
born?
German born. But then the Ministry of Health took over 48. Then I took over the geriatric.
When did you acquire British nationality?
I got preference because being a nurse and had very good reference. And so I'm already 47 I think. 47 because at 48 I went to Germany to see what's left from the family. There was nothing there. And shall I tell you a nice story? I went to Israel 36, 37, with a very good friend, very, very orthodox friend. And we both bought ourselves a talisman, the mezuzah.
Yes.
And this mezuzah, my friend couldn't come to England. She came to Belsenkamp, spent time in Belsenkamp. She's still alive. I lost a purse where I had this mezuzah in. On a doctor's round on a Sunday, one patient had it on her neck. I said, where did you get this from? She said, oh, I asked my sister to bring me a necklace. And she bought me this. I said, you asked your sister where she got it from. You wouldn't know what it means. She said, no. So, and the doctors, everyone was surprised that I said, it's my necklace. So I said, only Jewish people would wear it. So I got my purse back. The money I gave, of course, to the woman. And 4 weeks later, or not 4 weeks, 3 weeks later, fortnight, later, I got a letter, a Red Cross letter from my friend, just arrived in Israel. If the war from Belgium, if the war goes longer, you will not see anyone of your family. And so it was.
So your friend managed to get out
Yes,
of
she
Bergen-Belsen,
and she was repatriated with German prisoner, and she went with other people all over by land to Israel in just one dress and under terrible conditions. They had all diarrhea, all dysentery, and all this. But that is a talisman.
Yes, that's really. Now tell me, how did you get involved with Northwood Pinner Liberal Synagogue?
Now, they advertised in the paper that they have a service somehow. And
Which paper, do you remember?
Amersham.
Oh, in Amersham. And that was when?
That must have been 90, Mr. Bear would tell you. 10, must be 12 years ago. Yes, 12 years ago. So that was, now it's 87.
87.
That was only, it was 70, it must, how much is it then?
About
70,
1975.
yeah. And then we started off with little groups. We had in houses service.
Before you joined, or
No,
I'm
no.
not quite clear.
I joined this.
You joined the
I
Northwood.
not the Northwood. I didn't much that Northwood is. There was, Emerson started with a little group,
Yes.
and then we had service in Gerard Cross.
Yes.
These people who have the breathing department, in little houses only. And when I told them that we had in Emerson in 1941 a hut where we, so long ago, then I realized how old I was. Huh? They didn't know this. They haven't been born even, the people in Northwood. And then I joined Northwood.
And do you enjoy coming from this Orthodox background, do you enjoy the liberal?
Yes,
You feel at home.
Yes.
You do
I
feel at home.
I feel I want to be liberal. Yes,
Yes,
they asked me
obviously.
even before if I'm not mistaken. Perhaps I prefer the reform, but I think one has to go with the time. One has to
Very
go.
true.
But I must agree, we need the orthodoxy for the background, it's the backbone of our religion. It is the backbone.
You feel that?
I feel that, yes. The Orthodox, I admire every Orthodox person. That only if they would be more tolerant. In Mannheim, it was a very tolerant Orthodoxy, and we had more Christian patients than other patients. And the Jews is the German population really in Mannheim stood up for them.
Yes.
It's
Certainly in the very beginning.
in the very beginning, yes. And the Nazis had to come to the hospital to tell the patient, you must not be here. It was terrible. No, and I was there when they burned the hose down at the Altersheim. And we got all the patients lying in our
Exactly, you
corridor.
were in Germany during the Kristallnacht, yes.
I
in
went,
that
yes,
period.
I went to the.
Yes, I
went
remember
to
you
the
saying.
school, yes. And the matron and other nurses who didn't go away, they died all in Gurns, no, Gurs.
In Gurs, France.
Yeah.
south of France. It was suggested to me to ask you about a wedding or a birthday party, I can't remember, that you apparently arranged for a Catholic friend. Was that your...
That is this, but who knows about it?
Sharon said, I must ask you about it. It's a lovely story.
I didn't have this picture then. Because she didn't bring it when Sharon.
Well, perhaps you told her
Isn't
the
it funny?
story. Now, what is the story?
That is perhaps the story. Yes, she was my ward mate. She came over, her sister was already here, and she showed the picture of the sister. And this orderly man said, oh, she must come over.
Over from where?
From Italy. And she came, the matron brought her to me, because she couldn't speak English, and as I have been, she knows that I could understand the foreigners. I get all the difficult nurses. Later we got student nurses on the ward. And then I got all the difficult nurses. The matron obviously tried to get on with them, because it was difficult for geriatric to go to nurses. No? I tell you, but listen, they will take things out what is not of any interest.
Well, it's up to you. They may either decide.
And this will not come in the paper or
Oh,
something.
no. It's going to be kept within the archives of the
Yes,
synagogue. It
I
will be
understand.
transcribed,
Yes.
and I'll show you. You will get the transcript.
I only didn't speak nicely enough. That is what worries me.
I shouldn't worry. It's naturally you.
No, but it's not.
You're not speaking for BBC or television. You're speaking for a community who want to preserve some knowledge
Yeah.
of the members of that made up the community.
Yes, now that is why I have given already the passport of my friend, of my sister, and the star, and
The Yellow Star.
the yellow star. Yes, my sister kept it. My sister was married to a Christian, and he was very good. And if I show the picture, if I find them, how they looked when they came, he really had to go to prison because he didn't want to divorce her.
Under
The
the
other
Nuremberg law.
Yeah, the other sisters, they have other names, and they came all in different camps, you know. So, and
Is that the sister who later stayed in Wiesbaden?
two stations, yes. But I don't want to. That is not in America. Don't have it on now.